It was always action in my life. Gunfire always around. Turn around, you see another death, another murder. I say by 3, I was molested or whatnot by like this 15-year-old chick or whatnot. They kicked in the door probably about 20 guns deep. You know what I mean? I had my daughter in my hands at the time. Tell myself to not be a convict. This Cali, LA, my legal name, Larry. It's been a long journey, a different journey, you know. I don't know where to start, you know, but I give you a piece of me the best way I could.
Now, this is hands down one of the greatest interviews that I've ever gotten a chance to do. This is only 2 days after being released from county jail. And I must warn you, these stories are true, vulnerable, traumatic experiences. But this is the channel of perspective. It's so easy to get caught in our own realities that sometimes we forget that there is a whole world outside of our own. We all live a different life. We all tell a different story. This is theirs.
She said, take your time, what's the rush?
The hood raised me, you know what I'm saying? My mom, she was paralyzed at like 5 years old. I started smoking probably about 7 years old. I say by 3, I was molested or whatnot by like this 15-year-old chick or whatnot. So I was kind of advanced in sexual activity with older women as well. You know, by the time I was like 12, I don't know how many people I done ran through. By the time I was about 13, I was selling stolen watches I would steal from stores and stuff so I could make a side hustle. I wouldn't want to go and, you know, like depend on my mom's, because she was, like I say, she been paralyzed since I was 5, so I didn't want to put more of a burden on her. At the time, her and my pops, they wasn't together. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it's like to ever have a pops and a mom's in the household, so I kind of went to the streets. All my mom's side was straight gangsters, you know. We was a lot of Hoovers, you know what I'm saying, 5 Deuces, you know what I'm saying. We had a couple of 107s and 74s in the family, you know what I'm saying. A lot of them is what raised me and showed me some of the ropes. And I ended up moving down south to Texas around 14. Moms didn't want me to stay in that same surrounding because it go down in L.A. That's where I'm from, you know what I mean. By the time I was about 15, we ended up moving to Louisiana, 15 or 16. By that time, I was hustling pretty strong, you know what I'm saying? Feeling like I had to be a boss, you know what I'm saying, before I knew what a boss actually was. Feeling like I had to make moves that the normal, you know, 16 and 15-year-old wouldn't have to make, but I had to make them choices and moves. By 17, I was pretty much full-fledged hustling, selling a lot of weed. It was Reggie at the time, you know what I mean? My brother that's 6 years older than me, God bless his soul, he had got shot 7 times, you know what I'm saying? But that was my best friend, my best friend, you know what I mean? We had ended up getting a little place together. It was a small shack, you know what I'm saying? Hustled out of it, you know what I'm saying? My hustle was like way stronger than his or whatnot. But he kind of showed me the ropes on a lot of the things that I was doing and did. But also I was really chaotic in my thought process. I never really had that, you know, a sound foundation. And what I mean by that, a foundation that wasn't so street and wasn't so immune to the society that I would come up in. And I was always in the trenches, always in the hoods, always in the ghettos. I kind of felt like that was the same thing that Jesus did. Yeshua is his name in Hebrew, you know what I'm saying? In Hebrew, in Greek is Yeshua. But I kind of felt like he would always be in the slums. He would always be in the ghettos, in the hoods, the trenches. You know what I'm saying? He hung around sinners like myself, you know what I mean? And I always just helped and I always gave and blessed and healed. And so I kind of like, that stuck with me because of the upbringing that I had, you know what I'm saying, my first roots in church. I I ended up running across some snakes. I got set up. They sent somebody in the house with a wire one time, and the guy that ended up ratting on me on recording, you know what I mean? They kicked in the door probably about 20 guns deep. You know what I mean? I had my daughter in my hands at the time, you know what I'm saying? And my brother had actually just had ran across this dude or whatnot that had coke. So, and also at the same time ran across a lick that would buy everything that he had. He couldn't move it like I could because I was already in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I moved it. They end up kicking in that door. When they kicked in the door, I just so happened to not have nothing on me but like residue and, you know what I'm saying, some simple stuff or whatnot. But my brother had some coke packs. I couldn't see myself saying that, you know what I mean, it wasn't mine or anything, you know what I'm saying. I wasn't going to do that because at the time he was on the run from California, you know what I'm saying, from some dirt, you know what I'm saying. And when they came and they asked, you know, well, they came out the house, they was threatening taking my kids. The chick I was with at the time, my baby mama, you know what I'm saying, we had been together like for some years, you know what I'm saying. It was like threatening to take them and stuff. So I told them anything they found, it was mine. Me and my brother and my homeboy, we had ended up going to jail, you know what I'm saying. They was writing affidavits and stuff like that saying how the dope and stuff wasn't mine. I never would say that it wasn't. So they ended up sticking me with the charge. My brother and my partner got out 6 months. I ended up doing almost 3 years.
The craziest part of this whole story that I didn't mention, Bombshell, this is actually my blood brother. Different mom and a completely tale of two different lifestyles. I'm gonna be honest with you now, we did not grow up the same at all. But somehow I was still able to struggle with some of the same things. Paranoia, depression, anxiety, trust issues. Things that you wouldn't typically expect from a more stable upbringing. These were stories that I had no idea about until I did this interview. Things that I had to learn for myself for the first time.
So now that I'm doing this time or whatnot, I'm waiting on getting out to reunite with my brother. You know what I'm saying? That was my OG, you know what I'm saying? Before I got out, he ended up going back to jail. You know what I mean? So I ended up, when I got out, I come to Natchitoches, Louisiana, which is like 40 minutes or whatnot from Winfield. My sister was staying out there with my mom at the time, you know what I'm saying? When I got out, I was going to try to do the best I could to not go back to hustle, but at the same time, I couldn't see myself depending on many. I wasn't going to be no burden to nobody. I got back in the game. I put a little homie on or whatnot over there, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, Peace. I put a little homie on or whatnot and a few more cats, you know what I'm saying? And got back to hustling, you know what I'm saying? By 2010, me and my baby mama that I was with, we had got married and everything by then, but I had been in street life, you know what I'm saying? Like running through females left and right. I didn't know nothing about being faithful. That wasn't in me, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard when you getting money, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't know nothing about being faithful, and then she ended up cheating on me or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Found out about it, and I ended up messing with somebody that was one of her people. I didn't know they was people at the time, you know what I'm saying? But we ended up getting into it, you know what I'm saying? I went to jail. Before I came home, she was like, you know, let's start over. It's like, nah, that's not what I'm going to do, you know? But I ended up getting out 2011. They said that I had a old distribution charge. The feds that came in Winfield and stuff started raiding and stuff. So long story short, I ended up going back to jail on some dope charges, you know what I'm saying? I was hustling full-fledged, you know what I'm saying? I ended up doing another almost 3-year bid, you know what I'm saying? When I came home, well, before I came home, one of the chicks that I was talking to, we ended up really hooking up, and you know what I'm saying? Like, she was real close to my brother, you know what I'm saying? But she had pushed to get me in this reentry program in Shreveport, you know what I'm saying? So when I got there, I did a few months of what, and it pushed me out of jail maybe like 3 months before my original out date. My original out date was January the 1st, 2015. I would have never known that that day my brother was going to get killed. I would have missed him by like 8 hours or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And because of her getting me in reentry, calling, I ended up getting out 3 months early, so I had a chance to, you know, chill with my bro a little more, you know what I'm saying? And 15, I get a call. I remember vividly, he had called me, and he was troubled about something. All he was saying is, you know what I'm saying, I'm tired of people playing with me and this and that, cuz it's on, you know what I'm saying, I'm finna go take care of this and that. I'm like, take care of what? He was like, I'm finna head to Winfield. I say, well, I'll go and meet you over there. He was like, nah, just enjoy your family for the New Year's, man. I got it, cuz. Enjoy your family for the New Year's on Hoover. I got it. I said, all right, bet. I believed it for a second. I end up calling my boy Diotti, which is TK Soul's son. That's like a bro to me, you know what I'm saying? They was doing the show at the time at the place called Stroh's over there. R.I.P. Stroh's too, you know what I'm saying? I called them and my boy Bub and told him, hey, you know what I'm saying, Q-Tip, he on his way down there. That's his street name, you know what I'm saying? He on his way down there. Sound like he was mad, you know what I'm saying? Look out for him if you see him, or look for him. I kept calling my bro, kept calling. No answer. I kept calling. Finally, I get a call back maybe about 20 minutes later. It's like, man, you need to get up here now. Monty been shot. I'm thinking it was a little leg shot, something he was going to make it through. He had got shot 7 times, 2 in the face, 2 in the chest, 2 in the neck, 1 in the back. I flew down there. I went with the action. Before I went to jail, I had ended up hitting one of the big dope men, you know what I'm saying? Not even knowing that we was hitting him, you know what I'm saying? One of my cousins came to me and was like, come help me with something. I went, you know what I'm saying, being loyal or whatnot. We jacked the dude for like 15 guns. Now, I brought all these guns to the hood when I end up doing the time or whatnot, and then that happened with my brother. I go back to the hoods, asking the homies and stuff like, man, where the straps at? I need one of them, you know what I'm saying? So I go and catch this cat before he leave, you know what I'm saying? Him and his sister had then stood over my brother, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wouldn't give me no straps or nothing like that for nothing.
And with everything that you know now, what would you go back and tell your younger self?
Don't give up. Don't give up or give in so fast to the life. You know what I mean? The street life. Don't give up and give in so fast to go to hustling in the wrong ways. You know what I'm saying? You can have some positive hustles. You can have some you know what I'm saying, uplifting hustles, you know what I mean? To not go back, tell myself to not be that person that I once was, not that animal, that guy that everybody look towards when it's time to go up and get high, or when it's time for warfare or whatnot, be the first one to jump and run at it, you know what I'm saying, so fast. Now I want to be more discerning and mindful, take my time, pray more, you know what I'm saying, to get answers to what I need to know before I just make movements. Tell myself to not be a convict. You know what I mean? Because you could be free and still live a life of a convict. I don't want to do that no more, you know what I'm saying? I want to be that, a king. It is light at the end of the tunnel. Certain things that you can't get around or go around, you have to go through them. And if I turn back in the middle of this jungle, then I have to start all the way back over, so I got to keep stepping and going forward. They end up getting away, you know what I'm saying? I was throwing all kind of broad statements over Facebook, you know what I'm saying, to try to get him out there, you know what I'm saying. I would go and kind of like just go around coming to Winfield, you know what I'm saying, unannounced, unknown, you know what I'm saying, trying to get my own info. I never played the people a day in my life, never did, you know what I'm saying, go holler at them and talk to them about what had happened or anything, you know what I'm saying. I ended up going to court one time, going for the sentencing and all that about it. I told they family basically, like, whoever had anything to do with it, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? If I find out, I looked them all in their face and walked out the courthouse. That was the only time I ever had went on their behalf. Later on, the chick that I was with that had pushed to get me in the reentry, we ended up getting married. This is the first time I told myself I was going to be faithful, I was going to change my life, I wasn't going to be in the hood, I wasn't going to, you know what I mean, be the old person I was. I used to stay full of drugs, you know what I'm saying? Everything kind of like, it kind of overwhelmed me a lot. I was losing people left and right. It got so many to where I couldn't count. It got so many people to where I didn't want to count no more because it was like every month after another, somebody else was dying. Matter of fact, the chick I was with, her sister ended up dying a month or two after Monty. You know what I mean? And she was with her sister the way I was with my brother. You know what I'm saying? So we stuck with each other and tried to make it work and do things, you know what I'm saying, the way the Bible say do it. You know, I tried my hardest, you know what I mean? First time in my life wearing suits to church and stuff. I tried to be I was an armor bearer for the pastor or whatnot, you know. And I did that for a little while until I started feeling like the church ain't what it's made out to be. It's all a joke and it's all a hoax. Like, none of them was coming to the hoods, checking on the hoods like they supposed to do. I went back to the streets full-fledged. Next thing you know, my nephew ended up blowing his brains out. You know what I'm saying? My other cousin, Bullet, he had then got his life taken, you know what I'm saying? Just got out of jail in Long Beach from insane, you know what I'm saying? Then my little cousin, Sean, Lil Wicked, he got killed, you know what I'm saying? My homeboy, Bebe, he got killed by his sister-in-law, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on and on. Like I said, it would never stop. It never would stop. I still was trying to hold my composure without showing my heartbrokenness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was broken. I was losing people left and right, man. You know what I'm saying? My godmama, she died. You know, she had wanted to see me. She kept asking for me and stuff before her death. I didn't make it, you know what I'm saying, on the run again.
What is it like to be incarcerated, and like what does it do to your mental health? How does it affect you?
To be incarcerated, you can be locked up in the mind being free, but when you're physically locked up, it's a lot of things that go through your mind. And jails, in every jail institute, you know what I'm saying, correction facility, detention center, it's always going to be a heavy tormenting spirit in there. It's always going to be a very demonic perversion spirit in there. It's going to be you know what I'm saying, if I could just be blunt, you know what I mean? A lot of thoughts come to mind of how your family, your children is doing, your loved ones, what's going to happen next, how long you got to do, when you going home, the guards. In a lot of these jails, they're going to treat you so terrible. They're going to treat their pets way better than they treat the inmates. Figure out different ways to joust, you know what I'm saying, to pass the time, to not allow it to break me, because there's times when you're going to want to break and cry and bust out in tears, feeling like nobody is there for you if you ain't got somebody to support you. You know what I'm saying? You feel like everybody done left you hanging and forgot who you was and how much you cared and how much you was there, or if you could be there. It's a lot of people that I wish that I could have been there for more. It's still time now, you know what I'm saying, with the ones that's here still left. I don't want to be locked in the mind while I'm free. I ended up coming back to my sisters. My sister was like, they don't really get on with the street life. They was a total different breed, her and her husband, and my nephew was staying together. And they was allowing me and my fiance at the time to stay in they back house, the little shed they had in the back. And, you know, we set it up kind of like a little bitty studio apartment, almost, you would say, you know, to try to get my fiance out of jail, I told myself that I had to hustle a little bit, but I wouldn't hustle with my sisters, you know what I'm saying? Because that was one of the first things they told me when we got there, you know what I'm saying? Don't bring none of that here. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring that life here. And I promised her, and I did not want to let her down for nothing, because I started doing so good. But I got back in the game, got back to doing the drugs also, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, my mind wasn't stable at all. Just loss after loss after loss after loss, struggle after struggle. And it was hard to be able to explain to my family what was going through my mind and my head, you know what I mean? And I still would be praying and staying prayed up, always kind of keeping in touch with the Most High, even having Bible studies with my fiance and my little partner. I cut hair very good. I was cutting the cat hair to put some little money in my pocket and stuff. He ended up hitting me with some fentanyl. I didn't know that it was fentanyl. You know, I thought it was some coke. And my sister later on, well, right after maybe, the guy had left or whatnot, asked me to come and sing for my little cousin's live. I went to go in her room and sing for the live, and next thing you know, I guess I died. You know what I'm saying? They rushed me to the hospital, and I guess they got me got me there in time to bring me back to life. They brought me back to life. I had dope in my pocket. I ended up going back to jail. My fiance at the time, she was thinking that I had just left her hanging because she was trying to contact me and stuff. She thinking I done left her for the chicks and stuff like I normally would do, and I didn't, you know. I was in jail. By the time that she finally found out, you know what I'm saying, I ended up getting trustee. And we was in the same jail or whatnot. She was where the females was being housed. One of my partners from Winfield he happened to be in jail there as well. So we was sending letters through the laundry, through the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? We was talking every day. Then we found a way to talk to each other on the kiosk every day, all day. Then, come to my court time, I had no idea the guy was going to work the way he did. Yahweh came through for me. Being that, I guess, you know what I'm saying, it was an illegal search and procedure, they had dropped the Schedule 2 charge on me and left me with the marijuana charge. Gave me, you know what I'm saying, credit time served in about September of 24. I'm just now getting out from that yesterday, you know what I'm saying? And here I am right now with my little bro, E-Man the Great, doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? God bless him and thank you, Lord, for him, you know what I'm saying? So right now, this is my new journey. Right now, I'm on my next wave, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm ready to go full-fledged wherever God lead me in this game. And everything he tell me to do, I'm going full-fledged in it, front line. Ain't nothing gonna turn me back from this, you know what I'm saying?
Last question. What advice would you give to the people watching?
Keep y'all heads up no matter what struggle, circumstances, no matter what, you know what I'm saying, letdowns or disappointments that you go through. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head on things above. Get closest to the Most High Yahweh as you can. Now is the time where the world is getting so strange and weird. All of my children, all of my nieces and nephews, my family, you know what I'm saying, I want y'all to know I love y'all to death. To everybody that, you know what I'm saying, kind of gave up on me, I want y'all to know, you know what I'm saying, I'm bouncing back. And this ain't the end of me, you know what I'm saying? It's only the beginning of what's going to be way great. Everything that Yahweh do is great. So that's the beginning of that. Everybody that, you know what I'm saying, that still love me and gave me the support to this day, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to know, man, I love y'all to death. I really appreciate y'all not giving up on me, man. That mean way more, like, you know what I'm saying, the street life than the game, than the hood that I'm from, you know what I'm saying? Want y'all to know, like, man, that mean a lot.
Now, if you actually made it this far in a video, I appreciate you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do these type of videos, these type of interviews to show a different perspective inside of a world that you may be familiar with or may not be familiar with. A safe space for people to relate to and learn new things. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's all. Peace.